Hey, get in here. Dallas is about to start.
Welcome to the Ewing Barbecue. We are a Dallas rewatch podcast where we rewatch and review every single episode of Dallas one at a time, and we even play a drinking game to it. Welcome. Can we buy you a drink? My name is Mary.
And I'm Brad. We're back.
Woohoo!
I'm Jock, and this is my front.
And I'm Melanie. Hey, guys, what's going on?
And we have a guest tonight. This is Anita. Anita was our very first Patreon supporter.
Was it really?
You are. Yeah,
Wow.
Of course you are.
Yes, and thank you for your
Absolutely.
support all this time.
Yeah. And fun fact, Anita has never watched Dallas. So,
No.
Hey, that's cool.
It's because of you that we are able to drink this wonderful
Yes.
libation.
yes. But she did watch the first season.
The first season.
Followed along and then watched this episode so she can talk with us
Right.
about it.
Oh, cool.
So I thought that'd be fun. Someone who really doesn't know anything.
And surprisingly, I wasn't that behind.
Right. It's a silver.
It feels like I caught right up.
That was the good thing about these shows was, you could miss. And then, you could just jump right back in.
Before they
I think it's designed
serialized,
that way,
right? Yeah.
So,
Going from the
Right.
first season right into the seventh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Were you a little
Yeah,
startled
that's
that
what-
JR and Sue Ellen had a kid?
That's what I love soap operas, actually, because I think that's comforting. You know, you can just keep going back.
Seven Ducks.
Marlena will always be there.
Well, I remember him being born because he was kidnapped,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Oh,
yeah,
I
that's
did
right.
see that.
Okay, you did see that.
Priscilla Duncan, who had lost her own baby.
Yes.
When I think of the first season, I'm only thinking of the first 5 episodes. Never mind.
Oh, right. And the /second season
Yes.
that they call it now.
That's what I was going to say. It was like broken up. Or
Yeah, it started as a mini-series.
Yeah.
5 episodes.
So the numbering of the seasons used to be different than it is now,
Yeah.
where season 1 is 5 episodes, but they used to call that the miniseries, and then season 2 was season 1. So it's confusing.
It is.
And I love Lucy, but did not see her in the episode.
She had one very, very short scene.
She's
very,
in it.
very
She had
short
one-
scene.
Very
Yeah.
short.
Very-
scene.
Oh, she did. She
Yes.
was really upset.
Yeah.
That's right.
She was
That's right.
screaming.
Yeah, she was
Screaming.
very upset.
She was a hooting and hollering and screaming. And
Yep.
So, in case you didn't realize, speaking of Patreon, this here little podcast is super niche. That means until we convinced a whole bunch of people to listen to a podcast about a 40-year-old TV show, we're not getting any sponsors. So that means this show is completely funded by its listeners through Patreon. FYI, just in case you think like we're sitting on a bunch of money, like we don't pay ourselves for this. We don't get any money. Any money you donate goes directly to pay for our website and hosting the episodes.
Wait a
and
minute.
all
Am I
that
getting
kind of
paid for
stuff.
this? I thought you were going to write me a check at the end of the month. All right.
It goes.
The check's in the mail, Brad. Sorry.
It goes to the
It's
Tundra
in the
Tour.
mail.
It's in the mail.
It all goes to the Tundra Tour.
Yes. So anyway, we are so thankful for our listeners who do follow us. Remember, you can still follow us for free on Patreon. And when you do that, you will get extra stuff. You get announcements. You will get the video version. You'll know when the video version of this goes live. And you can watch that right on there. And there's some other extras. But we do have some extra stuff for our paid supporters. And we would like to buy a drink for our current paid Patreon supporters, who are Brendan Fillick, Captain America, Carrie Carver, Amy Hara, Brad Mulholland,
Who?
Richard Lundberg, Marie Johnson, Corey Springhorn, Michael Jung, Jason Carter, Jennifer Indelicato, Laura Bernheim, Carl Reinsch, Anita Wren, and Kristen Carlano.
Aw.
Cheers.
A lot of these people we just saw
I was gonna
in
say, you said-
Texas.
I know. We're actually getting to know
Yeah.
a lot of these people, which is
Yeah.
even cooler. Patreon supporters, or even if you're thinking about being a Patreon supporter, like if there's anything that we can do to make your membership better, like you can think of some cool thing you'd like us to do or from us, let us know, because sometimes we just aren't thinking of things.
We've got a couple of people in the Twitch room. Lucas Knoll who's somebody else. And
Cool.
CC 1278.
It's
I
Amy
believe
Hara.
is Carrie.
Okay, so that's Amy
I
Hara
believe that's
and
who
Carrie
that is.
Carver.
Yeah. Welcome. Good to see you again.
Hey.
Sometime you may even have the chance to come and record in person,
Yeah. Yeah.
like I am.
Stay at Mary's house and record in person.
Yeah, you never know.
That would have to be Amy Hara for me because she's the only one that lives in the same state as me. So,
Well, I live in
yeah.
California.
Right. Unless I just like kidnap you and like bring you to my house. And
There you go.
we can send Willie Gus to get you in his shag van.
Yes, for sure.
DJ and the Bear.
He will provide you a nice escort. You might have to sing at a few bars while he hides some money at the bars along the way, but you'll make it here eventually.
Sure. Yeah. And then the whole, rigmarole about 5-star reviews, which, most people don't do. But we really appreciate if you do give us a 5-star review on one of the podcast things where you're currently listening. Anyway, on with the show. I would like to a little quick little thingamabob for myself. I have officially started a business, and I'm gonna, even though we don't actually have ads, I might actually make ads for myself. I have a website. It is live, and it is for upcycled antiques and
Yes.
and curated antiques that my husband and I are buying. The website is stitchesoddities.com, and starting in the spring, we'll actually have a brick and mortar in Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
And if you're
awesome.
hip, that's a business, not a business.
No, that's really
right.
cool, Mary.
I'm excited. So right now, there's only a few things up there, but I'm putting more up there by the day. There and so it's like really cool clothes, like vintage clothes, and then I take old like figurines, like precious moments, and I make them into other figurines.
I still got that box to send you.
All right. I just sold this weekend. I finally sold my Lana Del Rey one that I made. I was really excited about that.
Oh.
So anyway, yeah, stitchesoddities.com, and you can follow me on all the things at it's stitches.oddities on Instagram. So anyway,
Cool.
on with the show.
On with the show. We had quite a trip. We did miss Melanie down there, but we were well represented down there, and it was a good time. And cast was wonderful, as always, with us. I am slowly getting the videos up on our YouTube channel. Sultry Sirens is up. The tour is up. The auction is up. And Southfork Legacy is up. So next up will be the Raunchy Super Couples.
Oh, yeah, that was the best one. If you haven't seen that one, if you
that
weren't
was a
there,
really
if
good
you
one.
didn't
Yeah.
watch it live on Instagram, yeah, that's a good one.
It was an experience.
And even better than the organized festivities were the unorganized excursions before and after. I mean, the hijinks, yes. I think we were the last ones to go to bed every night. And we got to meet so many people, I can't even name them all. I should have written them all down so I could rattle off a few names, but maybe next time. Yeah, we had a great time meeting other fans, followers of the podcast. Had a couple little trips we took to Billy Bob's.
I was
A
able
dream
to.
come true, Billy. I didn't realize how much I wanted to be there until we got there, and they could tell you I totally just geeked out the second we got there. I was just like, oh my god!
She was the last one to order food. Yes, she wanted to walk around and look at
because
everything.
I was taking pictures of everything. Yeah.
And the lobby was quite a happening spot with Jack Scalia was there, Steve Canale, Linda Gray popped down on Sunday night, Jenna Lee Harrison. Felt like being in just a giant like camp. Everybody knew everybody, and it was just kind of a mingling party in the lobby.
It was pretty fun.
And we met some people. I guess Patrick said there were 22 countries represented around the world at the event, and got to talk to a lot of them, and they'll be on some of our Instagram lives that I am going to post on our YouTube channel, so people can see what they missed.
I personally see England, Scotland, Luxembourg, Norway, Germany, of course, Germany. If I'm leaving somebody out, I'm sorry, but yeah, that's just what I can remember, and I didn't talk to that many people.
I think Denmark.
Could be.
Maybe. I don't know. Also, Sarah and I went and got tattoos, Dallas tattoos. If you're on the Twitch feed, you can see mine.
Oh, that's permanent?
I got
Your name is in the way on
There
my
you go.
screen.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, okay, a little cowboy
it's
hat.
Jock's hat with the little SF for Southfork
That's awesome.
in the middle. And Sarah got the state of Texas, just the outline with the SF in the middle.
Oh, cool.
We got it at the tattoo studio that was, I should get the name of it to give them a shout out. That's closest to Southfork.
While you're doing that,
So,
a big thank you to Scott Price for putting up with us, driving us around. Sarah's husband.
Oh, for sure.
What a
Sarah's
wonderful
husband.
dude. I had a great time meeting him, hanging out with him, and yeah. Thank you, Scott.
And let's not shortchange you with the transportation as well. From
and
the
no flat
airport
tires.
and Mary to the airport and going into Dallas to see Thanksgiving Square and Rebecca Wentworth's
no, that was
house.
Pam's house. We did hit a few locations just real quick.
It was Rebecca's. It was Rebecca's
I thought
first
her house was
because Pam moved in.
but it could be. Yeah, you could be right.
No, she took over Rebecca's
I
house.
thought they maybe switched houses.
Yeah.
Anyway. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But it's a house that used to look like something that was on Dallas. That doesn't look like that anymore, except the driveway.
Right.
Which someone needs to send me some driveway pictures because I got none.
Oh,
And we
right.
finally got to
I
meet
have do that.
Definitive Dallas down there. So
Definitive Dallas.
big shout out to Definitive Dallas.
Yeah.
By the way, we are on Blue Sky now. We have a Blue Sky.
What is Blue Sky? I meant to ask that. I just haven't had a chance to catch up today.
It's a social media platform, an alternative to Zitter that everybody has been flocking to.
A shout out to my tattoo artist whose name is Josephine Cooksey, and she is at Lone Star Tattoo.
How close is it to Southfork?
It was like a mile away.
Really?
From the hotel?
It was what's in the same town as Southfork.
Plano?
Which is
Parker.
I just think of that space as so like widespread, I guess.
Everything we did was like in that northeast, quadrant. So we were.
Is there a lot of development around there now?
When we went to Fort Worth.
It was nice. We got to have our table there with our banner hanging.
Thanks to David for leaving us.
Melanie, you were represented. They did see your face.
Oh, Lord.
I guess they're officially in Dallas. So their address, if you want to go there, is 18804 Preston Road, Dallas, Texas.
18804. Oh, 5 digits. Jeez.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Serious addresses over there. 18804. Yeah. What is it?
Preston Road, Dallas, Texas.
Shall we fly through some birthdays?
Sweet.
And then,
Yes.
All right, I'm going to just start with November because we've been off. But born November 3rd, 1959, the late Timothy Patrick Murphy, who we just had his final episode before we went away. Deb Renard, 65 years old on November 4th.
Oh, birthday.
Kate Reed, Little Trotter. 1930, November 4th was her birth date. So, and she's obviously passed. It's hard to believe she was in her 50s when she was in these episodes.
Just like Barbara Bel Geddes, everybody kind of looked like different back then.
Yes. Howard Keel passed away November 7th, 2004, which is the same day that Return to Southfork aired that evening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Our friend of the pod, Jack Scalia, born 1950, November 10th. So he just turned 74. So a shout out to Jack, who
74.
Hey, he's a great looking 74.
Who
I can say
Yes,
that.
Mary and Sarah and I think, agreed on that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I think he's more attractive now than he was even in the 80s.
That smile he has.
Right? Yeah.
So do the 3Ds. And
I don't know, Chad. I'll pass. Oh, jeez.
And if you haven't checked his podcast with us out, it's on YouTube in the Southfork Experience playlist. Dak Rambo, November 13th, 1941 born.
He and
Daniel
Jock Scalia kind of look alike, don't they? I don't know. They remind me of each other.
It's the hair.
Maybe.
There's a lot of hair back then.
The hair.
Daniel Paolsen, who played Naldo Marchetta, 1940. 1940. So he would be a year older than Dak Rambo. November 13th. That's tomorrow, actually. J.A. Preston, who played the Daughtry, who was the guy in the Justice Department that went out with the Ewings. Born 1932, November 13th.
Did we know Jack Scalia was in Playgirl?
No.
Is he in it or is he just on the cover?
Now.
Right?
Can you find
Isn't the person on the cover
not always.
modeling as well?
I don't know about
wonder if
not on
anybody's
Playboy.
gonna
I don't know anything about Playgirl, but not on Playboy.
I've seen one Playgirl, and that one, the person on the front was
Sometimes they
in the
put somebody they've
magazine,
interviewed.
I have the Victoria Principal Playboy issue here, but no, Jack was doing those things, but he reached a point in his career where he said enough of that because he found God and faith, and he decided he did not want that to be part of his career anymore. So he
Jack
stopped.
Scalia?
Yes, he stopped those.
Oh, that's a shame.
So he pulled the plug on. November 14th, 1976, so 48, Krista Matral, who played Christopher Ewing in J.R. Returns, so that's Christopher number 3. And 3 of the 4 Christophers have birthdays within a month of each other. And here's an interesting one. George O. Petrie, who played Harv Smithfield, born November 16th, 1912, died November 16th, 1997. On his birthday, he passed away. Yep. Merritt Van Camp, who played Grace, November 17th, 1961, so 63 years old. And we'll
for a long time, I thought she and Sheree Wilson were the same person.
I mean, yeah, they had the same
the hair.
Look, they're strikingly similar.
All right, so tonight we are talking about Season 7, Episode 6, Episode 137 of the series, Check and Mate.
Goodbye, I've seen you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
I gotta compliment you on your devastating charm, my dear. No one is safe.
What does that mean?
He may have told you he came here to see John Ross. But if I've ever seen a young man with a crush, he is it.
You're a very nice man.
I'd like nothing more than to spend my life making you happy.
Ewing Oil, Southfork should be yours. And I'm gonna get him for you.
When Pamela and I were separated, I still thought of her as my wife. I was sure we were going to get back together. But now I see I've lost her and Christopher forever.
It was written by David Paulsen, directed by Leonard Katzman, and aired November 4th, 1983.
Deborah Bernard's birthday.
Also on that day, the number 1 song in the U.S. was Islands in the Stream by Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. In the UK, it was Uptown Girl by Billy Joel. The number 1 film in the U.S. is Never Say Never Again, because last week we had Richard Pryor Here and Now, and before that it was Never Say Never Again. Featuring Barbara Carrera from the Dream season.
Girl.
Top news story this week was there was a bomb attack on Israeli headquarters in Tyrus, Lebanon, and it killed 60. Born this day was Anton Buslov, who was a Russian journalist and astrophysicist who was born this day in 1983 and died in 2014. And he was an astrophysicist.
He was born in 1983?
That's what I'm saying. He was born this day, died in 2014, and was a journalist and astrophysicist.
All by the age of 31?
Not a very accomplished astrophysicist.
Hey, that's what he was. That's a dude.
Yeah, loser.
That's Doogie Howser there.
Right. I was like, what? Okay. Died today, Einar Nerman, a Swedish illustrator recognized for his contributions to children's literature.
You just naming names, just making up names. Einar Nerman.
Nerman.
Oh, you mean like the Nintendo games of the late 80s and their attempts at American names? Have you ever seen that meme? Oh my god, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just like Google it.
I should.
Yeah, like early Nintendo names. Oh my god.
Okay, and on Dallas, Josh.
And on Dallas, this episode came in at numero uno for the week. And I can see why after how the last one ended.
Last time.
Yeah.
Yes, although it didn't involve Cliff Barnes. So, casting notes, John Hostetter, who plays Accountant Gerber, played John, the stage manager on Murphy Brown. John Beck played more and more scenes with Ken Kercheval and really enjoyed these scenes and found him to be a real character.
Romance.
Yeah. This episode includes one of Christopher Atkins' several scenes in which he appeared in nothing but a small bathing suit. And
Speedo.
He recalls the producers asking him to stop stuffing the swimsuit, which was funny and flattering, and he did mention this in the panel.
Yep, he did mention this in the panel.
Yeah. Among many other things that were mentioned in that
having heard that in the
panel,
panel and then watching this episode, like how much staring at the Speedo were you doing? To see.
Before or after the panel?
Like, are you like, was he stuffing?
I mean, there's nothing else to look at. And I mean, literally, like, how can you not?
Look him in the eyes. He's not a piece of meat.
Right here.
Right in my face, Brad. Right in my face.
It was front and center. And I feel like in those smaller TVs we had back then, it wasn't so bad. But now I've got, this 55-inch thing on my wall.
Exactly.
And the Speedo is filling up 2/3 of it. And yes.
Yes.
Morgan Brittany enjoyed breaking up Pam and Bobby's marriage because she thought Catherine was so brilliant, being devious and then stabbing you in the back after being so sweet to your face 1 minute, and just she really relished that
Kristen
opportunity.
2.0.
So, yes.
All the way. Crazy brown-haired, blue-eyed sisters.
So we open on Donna's rolling up in her car.
This is the longest shot of the hospital out exterior. I'm just sitting there waiting for something to happen.
Oh yeah, and it's Donna. You can tell it's the Lincoln. She comes rolling up, very long shot, and then she gets out of the car. Obviously, she doesn't know anything is wrong because
but the media does.
The reporters are already on it. They recognize her, start yelling to her, and then one of the reporters is like, "Oh, she doesn't know."
Yeah, they were building suspense with that long intro, and of course you want to see the car driving up so that you know who's about to enter the scene. And we know what happened at the end of last week's episode, so we've been waiting a week to see.
She doesn't know, but the entire news media knows.
Yeah, they're like, "You haven't heard the news? Oh, well, your husband's been arrested for murder," and she's like, "What?" Kind of, And they're asking her questions and trying to get her to stop. That guy, she runs toward the hospital. The guy yells Donna and snaps her picture, and she's just like dumbfounded before she walks towards the door and is like yelling at people to get out of her way. And honestly, yeah, I'd be doing the same shit.
Here's another example of the unnamed characters that we have on this show, right? Like the citizens of Dallas are a character on the show itself because
absolutely.
Like they're interested in what's going on with the Ewings. We're interested in what's going on with the Ewings, and it built the legacy of the show, I think, by having that.
So the hospital has the police and security on speed dial, and then the news media on speed dial before anybody can call.
Nobody's called Southfork
the relatives and
Donna's. Of course, they don't have cell phones, but still, somebody should have heard about this before 300 media members are standing outside the hospital.
Right, and I know a lot of times in the news, they will not release somebody's name if there's an accident or a death or murder until the family is contacted first.
This never would have happened, right? Like, there's no way in the world that, first of all, he's not even, Mickey Trotter, that name is anywhere related to the Ewings, right? So why are all these media members all of a sudden, interested in knowing, why he's dead or how he's dead? And even if they were reporting that Ray Krebs had been arrested, that might click with a few people. I don't think it clicks with all of the media. So yeah, this never would have happened like this, but they've got to sell it.
He's a Krebs. He's a half-breed. He's not a real Ewing.
So anyway, she goes inside, and
that's it. She just goes aside. Just goes aside.
She goes inside.
Major tease, and we get nothing.
Speaking of Ray, we had the opportunity to have dinner with Charlene Tilton the first night, and Brad embellished the Ray impression, and Charlene did get up at the restaurant and go, "Call me her name. Call me her name."
I did enjoy that. Yes.
It was pretty epic.
And then William Keck, we have to give a shout out to William too for all that he did with the panels and everything. But
yeah.
Nice guy too.
Yeah, he was he did the panels. He was
Super
awesome.
nice guy, and I'm sorry I couldn't give you a ride to Southfork with me.
I don't know where we are.
Punk's office. Or Harv's office. Punk's office.
80s
office.
office.
Somebody's office. Yes.
There's so much wood in those walls.
All the wood.
And can we talk about Punk and his white matching white suit there? You know, stylish he always looks in his
Punk
scene.
is always a style icon.
Punk should have
always.
been single because then he could have married Miss Ellie. Although we love Clayton, but spoiler.
Those bowler
I do
ties.
love Clayton, but Punk, they could have had like a little love triangle because Punk was a badass. That's a correct name for Punk Anderson.
Poor Mavis.
I mean, I wouldn't say poor Mavis. Mavis is making out.
Oh yeah,
It's
she's doing okay. She's doing okay.
Oh, he's getting some. He's getting some. She's getting some of the Punk
Yes, he's
pistol.
a strong, virile, older man. I can imagine. And I wish I had friends
With,
like Punk Anderson was to Jock Ewing. Everybody should have
the
a friend
most
like that.
amazing sense of style.
Punk Anderson and Pat Powers.
Yes.
Where is Sarah when you need to hear Pat Powers?
I don't think we ever hear from Pat Powers ever
I don't
again.
think so.
Gone.
Spoiler.
Rest of the show. Oh yeah, spoiler.
They're in Punk's Harv's office, and they're going to do the turn the books over to Gerber, who's the accountant, who's going to audit the books, and they'll have the results by Friday.
And JR's like, oh yeah, get on counting it. And hop to, chop, chop. And everybody's like, what's the rush, JR? And he's like, oh, just formality, and it's just
No reason.
no reason whatsoever. No. Not suspicious.
And that is interrupted by a phone call where they learn that Ray has been arrested, and JR doesn't seem to give a rat pass. And Bobby is like, but can you be the attorney? And he's like, well, that's a criminal thing, and I'm
Find
corporate
me a
though.
lawyer. And then he leaves. And JR's like, I'm going to sit this
So
one out.
everybody in town has been notified now, prior to
Yes, correct.
before
Yes.
JR or Bobby or
Except Miss Ellie. I can
at the
guarantee
ranch.
that.
Yeah.
Except
They call
Miss
the lawyer,
Ellie.
just-
Nobody's going to tell Miss Ellie because she's still
She
resting.
can't be told.
I have stuff to say
You'll have
about
to
that
trank her.
later, but okay. Okay, the next scene, Donna's blue car pulls up right in front of, I guess this is the jail, and she parks right in the front, so drink.
Yep, get a drink. Chug, chug, chug.
And she walks in to find an almost like comatose Aunt Lil just like staring
And
off into
before that,
space.
even
gone.
there's the standard '80s perp standing there in his jeans and white t-shirt with his sleeves rolled up, and his tattoo on his arm, that's standing there at the counter, like,
Yeah.
like
Cigarettes rolled in his sleeve.
I'm a
This-
bad
yeah,
guy.
this is a bad guy.
Yeah.
This is the Dallas Hill Street Blues crossover.
Right.
Yeah, I just
Totally.
half expect to see
I will
Bruce
be
Weeds
doing
yelling at somebody.
I wasn't very familiar. I'm not familiar with this character at all, but she walked in like she owned the place.
Oh,
Like
Donna?
she'd been there regularly, and she pulls up out front like that's her parking space.
Well, that's
right out front.
part of our drinking game. Like, yeah, so like
Everybody can find a parking space every time.
right in front, and does in a clear like no parking zone, just parks there.
Right by the steps, and she walks
Baller move.
right through.
Yeah.
The Ewings could find a parking space in front of the entrance to the mall during the Christmas season. That's
They
how
never sit in traffic.
just how they are.
Yeah, because they would just park right like
It
on the
takes
sidewalk,
10
and then be like,
minutes
whatever.
to get from Southfork to the Ewing Oil building.
Right.
That's right, and they're not even using the dart. I will be doing vodka infused peppermint whipped cream shots instead of drinking this evening. So.
Oh Okay, you do you, man.
Hey, the holidays are coming, so.
And then we cut to Sly.
Ray's a good boy.
Yeah. The Lord took Michael away, and Ray's a good boy. That's all Lil had to say.
She tries to get the story, like, what happened? And she's just like, she's gone. She's gone. Like a turkey in the corn.
Is that a thing?
How'd she even get down there?
I'm sorry. That's a Twin Peaks quote. I shouldn't cross my fandoms.
Well, how is she?
She was
there?
in the room too. Wouldn't they have arrested her also? I mean, just because Ray was holding the door closed.
Right.
I guess maybe he confessed to it and told him that she didn't do it. I don't know. There was no interview
maybe he was just like, it was just me.
All of a sudden, he's in jail.
She had gone catatonic.
This whole thing goes so fast because well, we won't give it away yet. But this whole storyline, just from the point where all of a sudden Mickey's not doing well to what happens next week, like they just cram that all together in about 2 episodes, and you're like, oh, okay.
So I have to say that when I have watched this every other time, and I know it's because I'm trying to like get to a couple of episodes from now, that I always rush through all of these episodes and I barely pay attention to what's happening. I feel like the Ray thing took so much time, but it's just because I was just sitting there waiting, like, okay, let's move it.
The polar opposite of somebody else's trial from next season, which goes on and on and on and on.
On and on, yes. Oh, the love of God, yeah.
I call it compressed reality. They compress reality into a short period of time, and
murder trials don't happen.
Commonly used. Yes. Yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah.
So then Sly is walking down the street when Cliff corners her.
He's wanting to pay her for her
services. Right out there in the open.
Right on the street, too. And she's like, dude, back off. I can't be seen with you. And he's like, nah, don't worry about it. And she's like, no, this is like, what if JR walks up? He's like, nah, don't worry about JR.
And she's like, I'm worried about JR.
Yeah, He's literally about JR. I work for JR. Like, and I'm not doing this shit. And he like tries to pay her off. And she's like, I don't want your money. I just want you to get my brother out of jail. And he's like, yeah, but take the money. Like they go back and forth on this for like 2 solid minutes. And he's like, well, I don't know. I don't know if I can get your brother out of jail. And she's like, what the hell? And he's like, well, you better take the money. And I'll see what I can do still. Yeah. And I'm like I don't know if I believe you, Cliff.
Why didn't he just meet her at her apartment at the pool like before with all the sexy people in their swimsuits?
Yeah, getting her in front of the work building is risky.
Suspect. And I like the camera shot where Cliff's face is reflected in the window.
Reflected in the building.
Yeah, that's a little sinister.
There's a lot of really great camera work in this episode. So I actually looked up the DOP, the director of photography. His name is Bradford May. And he was the director of photography when they later went on to direct. 3 things that are pretty notable. And I feel like Brad and I are going to bond on this one because the first was one of the Amy Fisher stories that aired in the 90s.
Oh, one of the
3.
This was the UK
TV
version.
Amy Fisher, Betty Broderick, my God, all of them.
And he did 3 episodes, or directed 3 episodes of the 80s Twilight Zone, and an episode of Friday the 13th, the series. Yep. You know which one?
Really?
The Baron's Bride, the one about Bram Stoker.
Oh my God, that's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorites.
So I was really excited when I looked that up. I was like, oh.
Well, now I gotta watch the whole episode again just to look for little things.
Yeah,
like
I noticed that. I thought that how do you even get a shot like that without a camera reflection?
Very carefully. Yeah. You have to do it from the side and make sure the lighting's right.
Yeah,
yeah, that was very good.
Yeah, so Bobby then arrives to see Donna and Lil.
Who's still catatonic.
It's Lil. I feel like she's been catatonic mostly this entire season, but yeah, even more so. And they say that Ray is in holding and she hasn't seen him yet.
The lawyer should be there soon.
Bobby's like, what happened? And they said, they're saying Ray, the hospital is saying that Ray pulled the plug on Mickey.
And then Donna gets taken in to see Ray.
Yes.
Ryman.
Rye.
Right.
And then Donna, I love Donna. I loves me some Donna, but girl gets judgy, and she's just like, Ray, it's wrong. It was wrong.
Who are you to play God?
Right. And
I'm not playing God.
Yeah, I'm just a dumb cowboy, not God.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a lawyer. I'm a dumb guy.
my God.
I got no need for a lawyer. I did what had to be done.
Right, when he says he let him die with dignity, and whatever happened, and whatever is going to happen as a result, like he had made peace with, because he feels he did the right thing, which is awesome and really stupid of him.
And that
he's no stranger to taking his lumps, so he's fine with it. He's like, he stood up for what he thinks is right, and it wasn't necessarily the right thing to do back then, or the okay thing to do.
And
back
that
then,
is a medical, ethical issue of euthanasia and assisted suicide.
It's been a hot button topic for years. I remember studying it in college.
Oh, I do too. I took medical ethics. Yeah, we had to role play like lawyers and debate case for so
crazy.
Yep.
And it gave rise to people like Jack Kevorkian, who helped people.
Michigan's own Jack Kevorkian.
Oh, that's right. Then we cut to cocktails. Just cocktails.
Entertainment nightly at the music bar.
Yeah.
You read that
Where
sign?
is this?
The music bar.
Is in my mind as a child, like this place was like the place where like fancy people went. And so whenever I hear like this kind of music, like the piano, like smooth jazz music, like I think of that, and I think like fancy people drinking wine with shoulder pads.
At cocktails.
Yes. You would aspire to be at that place every night with all of the people of Dallas,
and
the great people of
I'm
Dallas.
still searching for that as a 48-year-old to this day.
And we will find this place, and next time we were all gathering in Dallas, we will have a Ewing Barbecue podcast evening event at Cocktails.
Holy shit. That would, that's like my dream. Yes.
And Anita will join us.
Let's do that.
Anita will join us.
That'd be cool.
We would so get tossed out of that place. No, we're more comfortable at good vibes.
True.
That's more of our kind of place.
And then we'll have Sarah banging on my door in the middle of the night. Well, I'm 90% asleep thinking it never happened, but it did.
Oh my God.
We may have been really close to getting in trouble.
That was when Mary was like, Sarah's going too far, and I ran to my room and went to bed. I was like, you can deal with yourself.
You ran.
I did. I ran away.
Why am I on the third floor? I'm on the sixth floor. Get me out of here.
Well, JR and Catherine are taking a victory lap here at the jazz bar.
Yes.
And this is, I swear to God, the single greatest line I have ever heard in Dallas. And as God is my witness in making this a t-shirt. JR says, "The moon was in Ewing with JR ascending. Chef's kiss. Love it. Slow clap.
JR ascending. Yes.
I think I glossed over that one because it just went over my head.
So brilliant. Oh my God. The moon was in Ewing with JR ascending.
Who was the writer of this episode?
Leonard Katzman.
Oh, Uncle Lenny. Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah. And also he says his secretary is really into astrology. So Sly's really into astrology. We're getting to know stuff about Sly. Also, it tracks. It seems like a Sly thing.
Yep.
And there's an added bonus too, because Ray's now in jail. So all of their plans have come together. Plus,
yeah, and he's in the big house, but not the big house with the real Ewings. He's in the big house with the criminals.
Wrong big house.
With all the other dumb cowboys.
So Jay Har wants to, he hints at maybe a little celebration.
So he makes a little movie move.
Victory.
He wants to buff the bedpost with Catherine.
And Catherine's just like, I'm sorry, what are you doing? She's like, yeah, you're an attractive guy and everything, but like you are not your brother.
You're the wrong Ewing.
Nope.
And then she's not wrong.
Oof.
But
tell us how
and
you
then
really
she's like, that's why, because I'm in love with him. And he's like, you sound like a schoolgirl. And she's, I can't help it. I've had a crush on him since the moment that I met him. I think JR is really amused by this because he didn't realize how much she was really into Bobby.
You can catch. I don't think you would catch a 30-year-old woman saying that.
No, not today.
Today, right? Like you can't.
It's just a day we met.
Oh my God! Pathetic.
I've been sweet on him.
Also, I have to say, in this scene, the way Larry Hagman, his mannerisms and everything, this is the very first time, and I don't know if it's just because we were with him in Dallas, and I haven't rewatched the new Dallas very recently, but this is the first time I ever saw Josh Henderson in Larry Hagman.
Oh. Never thought about that.
It's like his mannerisms, like where, he does that thing where he's like,
Josh Henderson?
Yeah, Josh Henderson. Larry Hagman was doing that.
Oh my God, I didn't even
scene.
think of that.
Never occurred.
I need to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, go back and watch it. It's very, like, I almost wanted to send Josh Henderson a note and be like, holy shit.
I don't know, like his admiration for both like Larry and Linda Gray, he kind of like adopted them. They're all like kindred spirits. It's the best way I can describe them.
They are. And he was telling this story. I mean, maybe other people have heard it before, but I had never heard his story of auditioning for Dallas.
And Larry slapping him?
And well, just that, like, I didn't know that he watched it with his grandma when he was growing up. And then he when he first heard about it, he's like, I had a feeling. I just had a feeling like I need to do this. And then when he auditioned, he was just like, I think I'm supposed to get this. And then they agreed. They immediately were like, that's the guy. Mm-hmm. And I love that. I love that because it's just so like kismet,
And he is very appreciative of the legacy and just the painting that was done where Jock and then JR and then him.
Yeah.
And he just, because I remember in our podcast, I asked him, what does it mean for you to be in alongside those two legends in that painting? And he was just very humbled and honored to be included in such company. And so he gets it.
He's a very down-to-earth guy.
Yeah,
I
very
will
much.
give him that. Very down-to-earth.
And he was also one of many people, just to mention, it was Halloween weekend when we were there. But there were so many people that were just like, I feel Larry's presence here this weekend. And it was him. And like, he was serious. And people are just like, all of a sudden. And then even when I was in the buying merch in the little store, something happened. And she was just like, oh, there's Larry always trying to play tricks on us here. I'm like, I'm sorry, is Larry Hagman haunting Southfork?
Didn't they spread his ashes at Southfork? Or some of them?
They did.
And I did get confirmation when I was talking to Lee Majors that he was part of that spreading.
Oh,
back
wow.
in 2012. And Lee Majors was invited to this event in Dallas, but he had another place to be that weekend. It's funny, his character's name was Ken Richards, and I always thought it would have been funny if that turned out to be Peter Richards' father. Why didn't
they bring Peter Richards back?
Damn continuity, man.
Man.
He's not allowed back in Dallas.
Unless he brings that Speedo.
Oh, God. Poor fashion choices. No.
You can tell. Chris is
He's
so tired.
Yeah, he's just like
do Do you have to ask about the Speedo? Do you have to talk about Blue Lagoon? Like I've done a lot of other shit.
But
Please.
the story he told during the house tour where his first kissing scene with Linda, and he brought it up in the panel, where she asked how it was, and then he said, and his mouth went numb.
Yeah, she put numbing cream on her lips, didn't she, as a prank?
Yes.
I guess.
And then
I want to know who put her up to that.
And he actually ran over to Priscilla. He ran over to Priscilla Presley and put it on her. He just took her and kissed her, and then made her lips numb, and it was just started going around. Is what? And
Priscilla, because the first time he kisses her is on a location when they're. Why would Priscilla be there?
I think they were in on the joke, and people were there to watch.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. A lot of good stories. A lot of good stories from those people.
Anyway, she. Where were we? So anyway.
Catherine's figured out that JR is not giving up this fight.
And then she's like taken aback, and she's kind of like, well, you know that I'm in love with Bobby. What if I tell him? And he's like, you're not that naive, and you're not stupid, so you wouldn't do that.
But then she said, well, I could say that you were part of it. And they said, well, they've been I've been doing that since he brought her home to Southfork. So they'd expect that of me, but they wouldn't expect that of you.
And that's when she realizes, like, oh, shit, I'm caught.
He brings up a very good point.
Yeah. Right. But he's expecting her to win Bobby's heart and take him away from
his
everything
comfort.
And just be out of his hair entirely. Or maybe that's just what he's telling her, Maybe I don't know that he really believes that Bobby's going to, because he knows his brother. So
Saint Bobby.
But at least he'll have to.
But he doesn't care if Bobby's with Catherine. And he doesn't have to worry. It's not Pam.
Right. No.
That's our man. That's our JR.
I mean, and I know we wouldn't have a show if he would just mind his own fucking business, but he can't mind his own fucking business.
No, he can't. No.
So.
No.
Anita, what are your thoughts on JR?
The what?
What are Anita's thoughts on JR?
Yeah, what's your thoughts on JR?
He's a good villain.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty villain-esque through and through. I don't know that I don't see a lot of a warm side. I think we did maybe a little bit in the first season.
See, that's the thing about JR. He's evil, and then all of a sudden, every once in a while, every season and a half,
you see a little bit of humanity.
You see little baby ooey gooey JR, who is the inside that's protected by the hurt. So that's how he gets the ladies.
With the warm soft center.
So I'd say he's an anti-hero. He's misunderstood. He's really the good guy.
And that's the great complexity of the writing on the series is you love to hate him, but he has those moments and you're going.
Yeah, like after Solon had the car accident and the baby was born, when he first finds out that he's definitely 100% the father of John Ross. Do the swing to and fro. All those moments when he was trying to woo Sue Ellen back over, and he's spending time with the boy, and they're human moments.
And I would say Cliff is very similar, because I was thinking about that recently, how I actually prefer to hate Cliff, because Cliff is such a stupid dumbass a lot of the time, but I also love him. I also just want to give him a huge hug.
You're a loser, Cliff. You're a loser.
If he would just stay out of the Ewing's hair, he would have had a great life. But instead, he's always got to be mixing it up. Right now was a perfect time for him to just, no. But what's he doing? He's blackmailing, Ewing's secretary. Just stay out of it. That's, the writers have to put that in there so they get.
He doesn't seem to have the charm and finesse that JR does.
He doesn't. Yeah, and that's his.
Right. No.
Very boorish. Very boorish.
By design. Yeah, by design. He has to be a bit of an
Scrappy,
oaf.
more.
You know, so you side with Pam a little bit when she's, you know, arguing with him and complaining that, oh, you're, well, we'll see it.
Sure. Okay, so the front of the paper, Ewing relative arrested for murder. Like, not even his first name. Ewing relative.
No, half-breed.
I hope I'm not a relative of anybody famous in Dallas. They might stick my, you know.
He's a
half-breed.
half-breed.
And also, like, everybody knows it. Like, everybody knows that he's Jock's son. Like,
I don't think that was publicized,
like,
was it?
Well, I'm sure it
That
made
seemed
the
a little
paper
crazy to
when
me.
Jock died, you know, because he was publicly acknowledged as his son by then.
Okay, well, that's probably true. That's probably true.
And he was named in the will.
But back to the audience of the citizens. Yeah, the citizens of Dallas are the audience along with us.
That's true.
So
I'm a half-breed.
So we're there with Clayton and Ellie's doctor, and they are worried that the news will set her back. And then they're like, "You should take her away to, you know, somewhere where nobody cares about Ewings." Blah blah blah.
They don't know what a Ewing is.
Ellie is not like that. Ellie.
Trank her and get her out of the country.
That fragile.
Why
She's
does
not
everybody
a little
think
fragile.
she's fragile?
Right.
I don't know, because she's not. Like, Ellie literally is like, "Get me the shotgun from the closet, right? Like,
Get that
get me the
horse
horse
whip.
whip."
Right.
That's
Right.
Ellie. You don't fuck with Ellie. You don't need to like hide things from her, and it kind of annoys me that they are.
But you have to buy your time
planning.
while Barbara is recovering from her heart.
I know Barbara Bugatti is literally
Right.
like
It's very poor planning,
recuperating, but
they
I feel like it's a disservice to the character of Ellie.
They've
Southfork.
got Howard Keel on contract, so they got to fit him in somewhere. He's got to have a scene explaining what's, you know.
I
So that's
know why. It
It's
just
very poor
pisses
planning.
me off. I just want to put it on record.
Right. Oh, I understand. I totally understand.
Just go on tour and do a Kismet, Howard, for a little while, and come back, and Barbara will be back, and everything will be good.
Right.
Or they should have recast the part earlier.
Right. Yeah. They didn't want to do that, though.
But maybe she had a contract. I don't know. I don't know the
that's
contract situations. Whatever.
Let's not get into recasting. I mean, recasting Ted Shackelford was an upgrade. Recasting Mary Crosby was an upgrade. Recasting
The earlier
Wynn was not
recastings,
not the best. And going
People would disagree with me, but recasting Jenna Wade was an
Some
upgrade.
people will.
Fight with me.
I preferred the Morgan Fairchild to the Francine Tacker.
I was going to say, I
Philip
prefer
Murphy.
Francine Tacker, actually.
Do you?
It's tough to say because they had that one episode each.
Francine had
It's tough
two.
to say.
I believe it was a two-parter.
It is a two-parter, yeah. I'm just saying that because there's a lot of people with a lot of shit opinions about Priscilla online that I'm combating.
Yeah. If Morgan Fairchild had done 50 episodes and then Priscilla Presley had done another 50, then maybe we could compare. But there's really no. Same thing with David Aykroyd, Ted Shackelford. Who knows? David Aykroyd may have been a very good Gary Ewing. It is fine in his, those two episodes.
So Harvey's bailed Ray out.
Yes.
And he's letting him know that he's having a hard time finding anyone who will take the case. And the name Ewing isn't helping right now.
And Ray doesn't care because he did what he did, and he's ready to face the consequences.
Because he's in dumb cowboy mode, TM. And he's just like, I just want to go to jail. And everyone just rolls their eyes at him. They're like, dude, come on.
You big dumb
He's like, stop being an idiot.
If you
Stop
don't
being an idiot or you're going to go to jail. And trust me, you're not going to do good in jail. So, like, just cool it and we're going to get you a good lawyer.
Which I don't feel like that's right. Like, I don't think that's how it works. Like, if you can afford an attorney, then you have to hire an attorney. They're not going to say you're an indigent, and give you.
I think it's just like if you don't get your own
repressed.
attorney, they'll get one for you. But they shouldn't. But I
you're
think
you're a dumb cowboy, so they might give you an attorney if you're a dumb cowboy. Meanwhile, gliding through the water with this
porn stash is doing laps in Pam's pool.
throwing a ball to little Christopher.
Afton is playing with Christopher. Pam, upset, staring into space by a tree.
I feel like I'm at open mic night right now. Yes.
Slam poetry.
At the trap house.
Yes.
Mark walks up to her. He's dripping wet. The porn stash is in great form today. You know, just
A wet matted fur rug on his steam screen.
I mean, this is the beginning of like so many 80s porn videos.
Yes.
He's gonna do the slow-mo hair shake though.
Like he's just like, hey, like
I'm a cliche.
hairy chest is like just water coming off of it. Just
He's gonna cheer her up, and they're just gonna do it right
in
there
front of everybody.
and he's like, hey babe,
with the child by the pool.
what's wrong? And then, you know, she's, I'm worried about Ray. And then he just looks at her like, another fucking ex you're worried about? Like, what? Are you kidding me? Have you looked even at my hairy chest right now? Look at it. It's wet for you.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I have the next best beanskin rug to Alan Bean. Come on.
Well, it's complicated too.
Since Randy Powell.
Because it's not only her ex, but her ex-brother-in-law, and she's still very much entwined in that family.
Right. This is like her family has been her family for the past 6 years.
And it's also, you know, technically Christopher's uncle. So, like, she's still in the family.
They have a child, so they're hooked forever now,
Yeah,
So
she's like, of course she's going to be worried about Ray Mark. What the hell? Porn stash.
And he's just like, you need to pull back. You're not a part of that family anymore. And I'm like, porn stash, for the love of God.
Don't start telling Pamela.
You need to step back and watch it, girl.
Do not tell Pam what to do.
Does Porn Stash even know that Pam was with Ray before Bobby?
Probably not.
He has no reason to. He thinks
He
thinks it's all Ewing related. He doesn't know about the past. And honestly, I don't know. Did they ever bring it up again?
No, they never bring it up again, ever. No.
Just like the Lucy thing. They never brought that up. Okay.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah.
Because
They never bring up, like, Ray
had
slept with
Pam and Ray had Sue Ellen.
Oh, that's right.
Ray had everybody except Miss Ellie.
Yeah, no, Ray got around.
I'm going to meet and get a
Lucy thing
refill.
was disturbing.
Yeah. It ended up being his niece.
That's why they never acknowledged it again once they made
She was
him.
in high school.
Yeah, that
She
too.
was 17.
She was 17.
And even Steve Keneally brought that up in the
Call me her
panel,
name.
and he was just like,
Call me her name.
in high school, and he was like, what, 35?
Yeah, when I was watching it not too long ago, it was like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Call me her name.
And when you bring that up to a lot of people, like older folks, they're just like, oh, that's just the way it was back then.
Right. And you're like,
It's like, yeah, but it's still cringe.
Gross. Still gross.
Cringe and gross.
Yeah. Anyway,
Barf.
I'm just going to say she can care about them forever, Mark. Back off.
Put on a shirt.
Put on a shirt.
He doesn't put on a shirt this whole episode, though, I don't think.
We should have a chest off with Alan Beam and Porn Stash.
Oh. Harry chest off? I mean, Ellen Beam would win that one because he
has no hair on his chest, does he?
No, Mark Grayson, poor stash?
Yeah.
Oh no, a lot of hair, but the Blue Lagoon guy.
Oh yeah, he has no.
So it's like the opposite.
We're talking about a character from like a few seasons ago, which it was just, it's literally, we call him the Beamster.
He has no hair.
My Speedo guys mixed up and
your Speedo guys.
Chris has no hair below his neck.
Yeah.
Manscaping.
They were all over this episode, though. There were men in Speedos wherever I turned.
Yeah.
Good thing it wasn't in 3D.
Oh my God. Anyway, like, that's some really toxic shit that he's putting on Pam right now. I'm just saying. Like, don't like it. Don't like it.
Right. And then we have Lucy's cameo for this episode.
She's been at Ray and Donna's house, in the house, waiting for them to come home so she can punch Ray in the face.
Right. They've come a long way from the hayloft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just walks past.
There's her one contribution. We've got to acknowledge that Lucy knows somehow, and she's mad, and so
didn't hear.
punch Ray.
You didn't hear it from Lil, who's sitting at the table
over
on the side there, catatonic.
Yeah.
Well, it was in the paper.
Yeah. The media found out. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right in the paper.
So I guess that's a situation where they don't know exactly what to do. Right. I guess they don't know what to do, how to deal with Lucy here. So we'll just have her have a little fit, and then that's it. Story's over.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for your contribution to this episode. We'll see you in the next episode. Well, bye.
Mm.
Right.
And JR takes a helicopter to meet Alan Murphy.
As opposed to
we're going to use it all the time. Yes.
As opposed to Charlie Murphy, who was with us in Dallas.
Sure. Yes. Yeah. So he's made, and then he's like, "I'm really sorry, JR, that you've made this trip for nothing. Like, I tried to call, but you already left, and I just want to let you know that you've been outbid, and I sold the leases to somebody else."
Well, who is
awkward.
it? I can't tell you because that's
super awkward.
That's confidentiality. This is not a doctor's office.
This is a classic piece of Dallas, I think, and it's a brief scene, but it's just one of those. It takes you back to that first or second season with Cliff and JR, and just the, all of the issues they had, and the finagling and
the one-upsmanship,
business deals, and all that. It's like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this again, and that's what I love about this season. There's a lot of good stories in the season, but that's my favorite. Is like Cliff and JR back at it. That's the heart of the show to me.
Yep.
The Barnes Ewing feud.
And speaking of Cliff, we cut back to him at Pam's house, and he is celebrating. He bought the good bubbly, imported all the way from California.
California.
Then he toasts to
leave it to Afton to point that
out. Stealing a deal right from under JR. And then cut to porn stash, immediately looking worried. And then Pam throws her bubbly on the ground.
I love that. Shh.
Why say that though? Why even tell them that? That's going to hurt.
Because he doesn't think about anyone other than himself. He literally doesn't.
He likes to gloat. He likes to gloat.
He thinks everybody's going to be excited because he can't read a room. And he literally doesn't. He doesn't even remember who Afton is half the time. And
that's how we know that he never would have shot JR. He never would have drowned Kristen. He never would have done anything because if he did,
he'd be like, "Hey, guess what I did?" Yeah.
So proud of himself.
The California champagne. That's what I did.
Right.
You know Sue Ellen's sister that I never really had any scenes with? I drowned that bitch in the pool. Just because I felt like it.
Yeah.
And then after Pam throws a temper tantrum and stops off, I
hope the Bushes enjoyed the champagne.
The only thing he can say is that, whoa, that's why I don't buy the good stuff. All right, Cliff.
I hope the Bushes enjoyed the champagne.
Perfect, Cliff.
And I actually wrote, Cliff is just such a lovable little asshole.
He is the whole ass.
The whole ass.
Yeah. Southfork with all of its lights on at night.
Yeah. And I also love the camera work in this scene. I love how the camera is set up right behind the bar.
Mm-hmm. That's a view we haven't seen before, I think. I didn't even know there was a wall there. Mm-hmm. Where the camera usually is.
They're trying new things with their increasing budget.
It's a good look, and it makes it look.
And that's our DP, I think.
And that is our we furnished interior of Southfork downstairs.
Post fire. And Bobby and Swellen sit down, and she reminisces about the first time, when she first met Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
And how he used to be so sweet and naive and handsome.
Naivete.
And he's like, thanks, because I'm none of those things now.
He would have been like 18.
Yeah, he would have been totally in high school. And then she's like, well, you're still handsome, but not naive or sweet. And he's like, what?
You're sad.
Yeah.
There's a sad.
Well, obviously, Sue Ellen. Take a look around.
Yeah. He's literally going through a divorce. But Bob is like, yeah, well, life. Look around, But he's super dramatic about it.
And then she compares Peter to him.
Peter.
Yeah.
She's smitten.
What's on her mind?
Yeah,
she just doesn't know it.
She's got a Peter on her mind.
Or she likes the attention.
She's got Peter on her mind.
She is smitten, and she doesn't want to acknowledge it yet.
Not yet.
Been there, done that.
But we're going to limit the dick jokes this week, Josh.
Yeah. And then she's like, yeah, he reminds me of you when you were young. And he's like, what is she even talking about?
What the?
I wonder if she's always had some kind of secret attraction to Bobby because she tried to get all over him when she was pregnant with John Ross, right?
It's Bobby.
Yeah, it's Bobby.
It's Bobby. Come on. Like he was really cute.
He was.
And I think Patrick Duffy, like literally he was the first person I had a crush on. And not so much my type, but I think he's pretty attractive. I mean, just a complete idiot, box rocks, but whatever.
Bobby Ewing, not Patrick Duffy.
Bobby Ewing. No, Patrick Duffy seems like a smart fellow. Bobby Ewing.
Now,
dumb as a box of rocks.
It does feel like, what is the point of this scene? Like, I love seeing the two of them together, doing just a one-on-one scene. You don't see that enough, but yeah, it's sort of like, you used to be so naive, and you know who else is naive? Peter. And it's like, okay, and Bobby's like, okay,
this is
gotta
weird.
go.
Gotta go. Bye.
And by the way,
this is when we find out that Peter is 20, and I'm officially mistaken about him because I really thought he was older. I mean, he's still consenting age. He's still consenting age. They are still adults.
Yeah, but still cringe.
Do what you gotta do. But yeah, he's younger than my child, so now that's weird.
She's a cougar.
Yeah,
She's a cougar.
Well, Sue
that's weird.
Ellen is supposed to be, what, 30, 36?
Mid-30s? Yeah,
This is
mid-30s. I mean,
1983, okay.
honestly, it's fine.
It's not out of the question.
It's not. I mean, he's older than Kristen was,
We probably all know people in real life that have, yes.
Billy Joel's
male,
current
female.
wife
Right.
is
whoever's
It
older.
happens. And as long everyone's
And she's not really preying on him.
She's not.
or grooming him.
no,
or
right.
anything like that.
They're both consenting. It's fine. And
I'm sure just if you're married to JR, the nice guy has appeal. The nice, sweet, naive, the opposite of JR.
And also just like being wanted because he obviously has a crush on her and he obviously wants her. And that's going to be really appealing to her right now because she's like, oh, it's nice to be wanted.
And he's nice to her child.
And he's nice to her kid. Yeah, for sure.
And she's not really looking, she said.
Right.
Yeah. So this is very innocent.
They do seem to have a thing for matching older and younger, whether it's men with women or women with men.
I mean, that's always been the way.
Going back to Ray and Lucy, and then later you have JR and somebody else who was on late in the series, and Carter McKay and Rose.
Oh, that's right. Ugh, gross. Okay. Yeah, can we literally? Those gonna be so hard to get through.
We'll skip all of those scenes.
Yeah.
Just those scenes.
So we got to Ray out in the field, and Donna rides out to tell him that the doctor says that Aunt Lil has severe depression. You think?
Oh, she's catatonic.
Did we also mention that Sue Ellen asked about the audit, and she says never underestimate JR, and Bobby says I don't take JR for granted.
Yeah, that is kind of what sent him out of the room when she brought that up. But yeah, that conversation kind of meandered through a bunch of different topics.
Yeah.
But yeah, Donna arrives by horse.
Yeah.
She needs Ray to snap out of his funk, fight the charges, and help his aunt. And she's going to get him a good attorney. Again, we're going to get you the best attorney. Who is the best
Right,
attorney?
and-
They're really leading up to this attorney. Who's this
And she's
great
just
attorney
she's
going to be?
pissed at Ray because he's just kind of like let go and let God, and she's just like,
I'm going to fight
I
for our
can't
marriage
even.
again.
She's like, I'm here, I'm your wife, and you're just gonna leave me to go to jail? Okay, like that's uncool. Like, no, we're not. We're gonna fight it. He's like, I guess.
Man, he self-sabotage.
Right.
Self-sabotage.
Total self-sabotage.
Over and over.
And over again.
The love of a good woman can't break that habit. It's got to be something they have to do themselves.
She's already punched someone out in the bar over her marriage.
Do you know guys like that? Like, I feel like I've known so many dudes like that, self-sabotage.
Yeah, I'm dating one.
Oh no!
Oh no, it's more of like a past thing. It's something he's recognized, just like me. Like,
that's good.
Always quitting and giving up and not realizing that there was other potential there. Yeah.
You're like,
yeah,
you could do so much. Yeah.
And that's where Ray is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Donna's like, you idiot! Yeah, I want to shake you. And
it's a cycle with him whenever there's big trauma, losing Jock, the Mickey situation. It's just
trauma affects people that way quite often.
Yes,
quite
it
often.
does.
All of us.
I'd like to give a shout out to Donna's fabulous 80s hair.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
This is Donna's perm. She finally has the perm. I love her perm.
It's better than Pam's poodle
It's
perm.
closer to God.
Oh yeah.
Yes, the higher the hair, the closer to God.
It's better because soon she's going to cut it and it's going to be curly and short, and it's not as good as what it is right now.
And she did
It's pretty fuzzy. It's awesome.
She did the perm better than Pam's poodle perm.
Oh, Pam's poodle perm is terrible. So bad.
Oh, all-time worst. Yeah, that's worse than Sue Ellen's
Which she got in the hospital after seeing Cliff in the bed on her way out at the hospital barber.
That's what you get when you go to a hospital barber.
Sue Ellen figured that out.
Cut to Ewing Oil. JR is yelling at Slater for the deal getting away.
Mike Brady's boss
Yes.
again from the Brady Bunch.
And he's like, it wasn't me. And JR's like, I don't believe you. You're the only one who knew. And then Sly's just sitting like at her desk like, nobody look at me.
Don't look at me. I can't keep my face straight. You can read it in my eyes. Please don't look at me. Girl worried. That girl worried.
Well, yeah, she should be.
It should be, because her whole world could crash down. When you go against JR, you're done.
Yeah. And then Bobby and Holly are walking along like a little canal. Where is this?
We want to know
Just
where
out of
this
the
is
blue.
because JR was there at this, I believe, at the same area later in the series with maybe Kimberly Kreider or somebody.
Okay.
And the same, I remember the canal.
I should message that 80s life. That 80s life. Hey, if you're listening, please message us and tell us where this is, or anyone else who might know.
We just put together
that'd
a
be
map.
cool. Yeah.
Oh, that would be great.
And maybe we could put it on
would
the
be great
website.
on those, like an
It would
interactive
just
map.
show the
Yeah.
locations within the city and everything. So, but this is kind of out of the blue. Like we saw Bobby and Holly in the scene with Catherine, and all of a sudden,
I believe this is Lois
now they're hanging out. They're
Child
friends.
swan song.
Howling around by the canal.
Yeah.
They're hinting. They're making it seem like maybe this is going to be something. Or that she's going to stick
Right.
around, but of course,
But then Bobby fucks it up because I will say I love Holly Harwood, and I think she would have been a really great match for Bobby. And I know a lot of people disagree with that, but I don't understand the Holly hate. I think she's awesome. I think she knew what she wanted, and I don't. Do you disagree, Brad?
no, they just kind of roll her character into Marilee Stone, and
No, they kind of do. Except Marilee never had a thing for Bobby.
You know.
And
No,
Yeah, you're
but
right,
I'm saying
though.
like her whole thing with younger men and business
they
acumen
kinda do.
and all
And
that.
Lois
is
Childs
kind
had
of
a
one character.
smoking body.
She's just smoking. She's hot.
Oh, yeah.
And And she's just basically like, look, I'm kind of over everything. And I'm not even mad at JR anymore. I just want to let all of this go. It already happened. And I'm wondering if there's a chance for you and I, because you're single now. You're free. And
Holly.
you know that I've had a thing for you for a while. So are we going to hook up or no?
Unfortunately, you're tainted.
Yeah, Bobby's just like, I don't like you like that.
Yeah. But good for her.
She's just straightforward.
Like that, right?
Yeah.
Just being upfront, being like, hey, we going to fuck or
I'm
what?
not dipping my
see you
stick
later.
anywhere JR dipped his stick.
And she's just like, she's like, no, we can be friends. And she's just like, friends? I don't want to be friends with you. Yeah.
I want the danger noodle.
That's gross.
And then she's flat out asks him, is it because I slept with JR? And he's like, I don't know, probably. And she's like, men and their fragile egos. Like, dude, like, what if the situation was reversed? Which I'm so glad she said this out loud. What if the situation was reversed? And you'd expect me to just get over it. And Bobby's he has the audacity to say, yeah, you're right, but I'm not going to change.
Mm-hmm.
Well, God damn it, Bobby. Well, then you lose. You lose Holly Hartwood, and she would be awesome. So
right.
I applaud everybody, actually, all the characters in the scene
That's
for
true.
being authentic. Like, Bobby's like, you know what? You're right, but I'm not, like you said, I'm not going to
And
change.
he
And
could
good
have
for you for
taken
saying
advantage
that.
of the
For
situation
acknowledging
and
that
then just blew
that's
her
the
off
truth.
later.
Yeah,
But
he could have
Absolutely.
just been like,
Absolutely.
So Mike drop Holly out.
And somebody's going to end up with you,
Sorry
Bobby,
to see you go.
at some point.
Yeah, and it's
Maybe.
not gonna. I'm just sad it's not gonna
Or
be
not.
me. You know what kills me? That it's not gonna be me. And then Bobby's just like it's almost like he just realized that, like, oh, I'm gonna get with somebody. It's like, what? Oh shit. Yeah.
Who is it?
And yeah,
Foreshadow.
and they have to revisit this down the road before he ends up with somebody.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is and that is no spoilers, but we'll see the growth of the character of Bobby Ewing in time.
Right, and that is one of the things that I think about the underlying themes of this entire series is the characters of Bobby and Sue Ellen surviving everything that JR threw at them to grow to where they were in 2014. It's their life's journey.
True. Yep.
Yeah.
Cut
Bye-bye,
to the
Holly.
brand
Thank
new
you,
Burns
Lois.
Wentworth offices. The gold buildings.
Porn stash.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
The gold buildings, which are always on the other side of the highway that I think they are when I'm like driving along.
And they were
looking for
near
them.
a
It's like,
Taco
oh, it's over
Bueno,
there.
which is a Josh Henderson favorite.
All right. So.
Porn music in the office.
Come on, Anita, join us.
So they lead Pam in and they show her the new office.
This is where the love couch can be for porn stash who becomes the visit.
She got over her shit pretty quick about the whole JR
She
thing,
did.
didn't she? Like, she was mad. Like 8 minutes ago, she was mad, and now she's looking at the new office.
Yes, she throws a temper tantrum, and then she's like, "Oh well, whatever, bye," and she's over it. And so they're like, they're trying to convince, like, showing her office, and she's like, "What? I don't even know what you want me to do." And they're like, "It doesn't matter. You're just gonna work with us." And then she's just like, "What? I don't know if I want." They're like, "You worked at the store. It's the same thing. You just show up." Whatever.
You take lunch whenever you want.
Right. Yeah, just show up. And she's just like,
park wherever you want.
Yeah. And she's
Put on
just
a
like,
pretty dress, come down.
And she's like, okay, I guess that sounds good. I mean, it does sound pretty good. You're going to get a fat check for doing nothing.
Right. And you don't even have to run an exercise studio. Where is that aerobic studio, by the way?
Yeah.
Forever gone. By the way, shameless plug is we have t-shirts and hats from Pam's exercise studio in our merch store. Ewing Oil Night. JR overhears Bobby on the phone with Canada. Not great news.
Thornton Creek is delivering bad news. Here, have a drink.
then so he comes in and talks to Bobby and not great news. Yeah, no. He's like, well, they agree it doesn't matter anyway. Tomorrow's the day, and they're
let's carpool.
It doesn't matter. They're gonna drive over to Harv's together.
Just the good old boys never meet.
And then
JR's trying not to gloat here because he knows he's winning and Bobby thinks it's all
question his
they're gonna share
wanting
it anyway,
to drive to Harv's together, because if this works out the way JR is thinking it's going to work out, where he's going to be like, oh, by the way, I won and fuck you, I'm taking over. Then they have to drive home together. Right.
Can I get a ride back?
Well, that's going to be awkward.
No, JR's just going to be like, bye.
Bye. Yeah.
Find your own way home.
Right.
Taxi.
Well, he could be thinking that he could be thinking that like there's going to be more paperwork to sign or whatever, and Bobby's going to leave, in a huff and whatever. So I don't know. Yeah, it does.
It's a weird, just
crisp writing for sure. Yeah, a lot of uncrisp writing in this episode, as well as it was filmed.
Right.
I think.
Right.
It looks really good.
There's some loopholes in there.
Choices.
But then they toast. They drink to the warmth we feel for each other right now will remain no matter what. And Bobby's just kind of like,
for the next hour and a half.
Okay, clink.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we cut to camp.
John Roberts'
And
team
they're
is
playing
winning
tug of war.
All these traumatized children are tugging on a rope.
Let's yank that
This
rope.
is healthy. Work it out, kids.
My takeaway from the scene is Sue Ellen talking at the beginning about how hungry she is. And she's like, let's go eat some dinner.
Yeah.
I'm starving. Let's go. And then she wants to say goodbye to Peter. He's in a staff meeting. She's like, all right, get in the car because we got to eat. And then Peter sees her as he exits, and then he's like, oh, shit. So he runs over to the car. And
John Ross wants to go swimming.
he wants to go swimming again. And so I'm just like, yeah, but dinner. Remember, we're going to go eat?
Does this place
Right.
close?
It seemed like everybody's picking up their kids,
Time
right?
to go home?
And then Peter's just kind of giving her a look like, it's okay. And then she just smiles and lets them go off. Like,
Well,
okay.
Yeah, fuck your hunger.
Her hunger's changing.
I believe there's something else.
Go get a taco. Find a
I
food
believe
truck.
there's something
Yeah,
else
her
she
hunger's
wants to eat. I believe there's something else she wants to eat in her next meal.
Yeah. She's gonna hit the hot dog stand.
She's gonna go get herself a wiener. Right there.
I mean, it's right
Oh
there.
my god, this is very uncomfortable.
Right there in front of your face.
Hey,
Oh my god, that's so stupid. Okay.
Mary and Brad will get this, but if that were there, I would have nibbled it too.
Okay, so we cut to Donna talking to Paul Morgan, the guy from last episode who had like a huge crush on her.
The breadcrumbs were being set a couple
He's the
episodes
best attorney.
earlier when they introduced Paul Morgan. Then he disappeared. Now here he is.
Right. And then she's asking him about the case, and she's telling him like, look, we having a hard time finding a lawyer, and he's like, yeah, well, no, duh, like this is a really easy case to lose, and lawyers don't care how much like money you have. It's more like their win rate that they care about, and
Their reputation.
Not all lawyers.
not all lawyers, but the good ones, I guess. I don't know.
Good lawyers.
Yeah. Yes.
And then she asks him if he'll do it, and he's like, I'll think about it.
Bring me the files. Let me look it over, and then we'll decide.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna have to
He's
flip
already
it.
made up his
No.
mind. Yeah. Because he's got a shot. You know, he could win either way. Either he could get Ray his freedom, or
Right.
maybe
And
Ray
then
goes
he's
to
just
prison,
like,
and then Donna
oh
divorces
no, you're
him,
going
and
to
then
jail,
he's
Ray.
in.
Oh no.
Always that
Mm-hmm.
ulterior motive in just about every
That's right.
conversation.
Plan A, Plan
We
B.
fuck over. Yeah.
Harv's office for the audit.
Har's office. The audit is done.
Punk
And then
reads the
Punk
letter.
opens the letter that Jock sent him last year. And after he wrote the codicil, which honestly, if you think about this for 5 minutes, none of this makes sense at all. None of it.
Somebody dreamed this up. Yeah, they dreamed this up in the summer of 1983 after all this story has been written.
Maybe there was another after he wrote the one. Then he just wrote. That doesn't make any sense.
So
unless Jock really was in like a fever.
All of this,
dream.
all
He
of
didn't know
this
what's
was
happening.
for nothing then, Jock. All of these deaths and all these divorces and fires and everything, and Ellie going off, and it was all for nothing because of this letter.
Jock is encouraging them to work together, not against each other. The contest is to show them how damaging it was to fight against each other.
Take that energy that you spent fighting each other and use it to build this company to be the greatest thing that it can be.
What the fuck? I'd be like breaking shit. I'd be like throwing like the chairs against the walls and like, you put us through this
People
crap
are dead
and
now
I can't
because
even
of this?
punch you in the face because you're dead. You know?
Thanks, Dad. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
right.
What about you?
I hate you, Dad. You're dead.
It's just it's kind of a bit. I hated this beginning of this story. I always thought that was stupid. Like you can just split this huge company right down the middle and just that makes no sense to me. Maybe that's possible. I'm not but it made no sense. I thought it played out wonderfully during the last season, everything leading up to the fire, and then they throw this at you, like all of that, week to week that we watched.
You think about this on the bottom of that swamp for the rest of eternity, Mr. Ewing.
That's right. That's right. You think about what you did. And then...
But of course, JR knows it's not a legal
That's
document.
the first thing he says. He's like, that's not a legally binding document, right?
Okay. Why are you asking this, JR?
Just checking.
Why are you asking this, JR?
Yeah.
You're starting to drop your hints.
Yeah. And then Peter and
the hot dog
John
stand,
Ross
the hot dog stand
are finally done swimming after who knows how long. Swelling literally.
Oh, he wasn't wearing the Speedo in the previous scene. That's right. This is the scene
he takes off his shirt in that scene as he's walking away to reveal, like, I just have a Speedo underneath.
Well,
Swellen dying from hunger at this point. And
she's so hungry, she's going to have a party at the house and invite the whole staff.
Out of her mind now. She's like,
everybody eats.
Thank you, Peter, for all you've done, and everybody. I'll just do my job, man.
I want to get your Speedo into my Southfork pool again.
So this must be like the last day of camp then. Is that it? And that's why she's letting it go longer? Maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know because then why would she be throwing a party now? Because she's just like, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Maybe she's just so grateful. I didn't know this had an ending to it. I thought this was just a place like...
I just assumed it was like a summer camp. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows? She's like, what if I throw a party for everybody, all of your fellow coworkers to come to my house?
But you have to wear a Speedo, Peter.
Yeah, and you could swim.
A pool.
In the pool?
Yeah. She's in charge of Southfork now. She can just invite whoever she
Ellie's
wants.
Not there. She's taking over.
I'm the queen of the manor.
Miss Ellie's not there. Yeah.
Right.
She doesn't have to clear that with Miss Ellie.
And Peter's just like, like he's so excited he can barely get it. He's like, I have to talk to people. No, it's fine. It's that we will be there. Yes, we will be there.
Peter's waving a flagpole at the thought of this.
Oh my God.
And he's like, I got a funny feeling I gotta go inside.
He did turn around and run inside awfully fast. He did the
thing that like you do as soon as you go around.
See how excited I am if I don't run.
You have to hide that till you go around the corner to be all like, yes, oh my God. But you gotta play cool.
He did a high kick.
He did. He's like,
if he was in school, he would have needed that trapper keeper in front of him.
Oh my God.
Right. Yeah, he should have been carrying a clipboard or something.
She is definitely flirting with him. Like, no doubt about it, flirting with him.
Carrie wants to point out that the last day of camp is not until the barbecue. So the barbecue will be the end of the summer camp. So, minor correction.
I keep pulling my headphones out. Sorry.
Okay,
that's good
Peter
to know.
raising mast.
So I guess it's just at this point where she's just like starting to feel very grateful to Peter.
Mm.
Very
She's
grateful.
smitten. You can so tell.
She wants to give him something back.
I'm sweet on you.
And because she's like smiling as she watches him skip into the thing, and then it's all of a sudden like she realizes what she's doing, and then immediately is like, "Oh,
Bad thoughts. Bad thoughts.
Bad thoughts."
You know how it is when you get too drunk or too tired or too hungry. You know, you start promising things that you
start
don't think you
flirting
can
with
keep up.
Your
that you can.
son's counselor. Yeah.
Get that down, Peter. Come on.
Thank you, John. Josh is on his own show right now. He's doing his own. He's doing the second podcast. This is playing with some flashlight, or I don't know what that is.
So then we got to Ray and Dinah's. Will is just mute in the yard. And Ray's like, Aunt Lil, we have to talk about the funeral. And Will's just like staring off at her. She can't say anything. And he's like, what if we bury him at Southfork? And Lil just like, she can't. I'm like, I get it, but she can't.
Lil.
I just want to say, like, Kate Reed probably was like so in character. They probably had to have prop guys like move her around because she's just in the same catatonic state
She's
this
a
whole
method
episode.
actor,
Like they picked her up from the police station and then they set her at the picnic table outside Ray's house.
We
just keep doing what you're doing there, Kate. I mean, it's so brilliant.
She's there for like 7 hours.
She's
just
wearing the
staring off
same
at his
clothes.
face.
Lil, blink once. Blink once if we can bury him on Southfork. Blink twice if the answer is no.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Brilliant piece of
So
acting.
good, so good.
Thank you.
And then final meeting of the contest.
$24 million for Bobby.
Yes.
24,160,000
$40 million and change for JR.
for Bobby. Yep. 40,220,000 for JR. Kicked his ass.
Wow.
16 million. Beat down.
So JR gets up. He starts to say, well, in theory, I may have agreed to that, but beep. Someone's here to see Bobby Ewing.
Mm-hmm. He was almost going to tell everybody that by the way, I'm not going to keep that deal that Bobby thinks we made. But he didn't get that far. They knew it was coming.
They knew it was coming.
Because he was close to saying it. They knew it was coming.
Bobby knew it was coming.
Right.
He timed it
But
well.
they get totally. Yeah. But they
Dr.
get interrupted.
McLeish, who shows up with
Auditus Interruptus.
From Canada, no less.
He shows up with a check
Just flew in
for
from
Bobby
Canada.
for
His arms are tired.
$26 million.
Just enough. Just enough.
And Bobby's like, ooh.
That's-
So I can go like put this right over here in my book right now, right?
And Jared's like, it doesn't count. It doesn't count because we already did the thing.
Yeah.
We did, and they're like, no, but
yeah, time
the
out.
day,
You
buddy.
can't do that. You can't do that.
That's
yeah, I can hear that.
$50
And Bobby's
million
like,
in change
la la la
for
la la
Bobby.
la.
That's $50 million in change.
Yeah.
And JR's $40 million in change.
And Jared's like, hey, buddy, old pal, partners, right? Remember how we agreed to be partners?
Yeah.
We're gonna do that. Let's do that.
Bobby Ewing, winner, chicken dinner. Woohoo!
And Bobby rolls his eyes into the back of his head, and he agrees. And freeze frame.
Speed.
So what does the future hold now? They're going to run the company
Crazy.
together?
It's like,
What a concept.
hilarity will ensue.
And it'll be
And we drink twice because
Wacky.
JR was on screen.
it'll
So
be
we
a
drink twice.
it'll be a buddy comedy, and they'll sing "Kumbaya" every night, and they'll hold hands, and they'll skip to the meetings together, and hijinks.
And see, and this is jumping way ahead, but like this is a situation where Bobby should have learned from his mistakes, and he makes a huge mistake later on. in an elevator, which is my least favorite episode. Way down the road, so we'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're talking season.
The elevator
13
scene?
stuff.
I always thought I liked that one, but
Was
yeah.
it 12?
Okay.
12 or
Episode
13.
300.
But yeah. He's gonna he should have learned from this mistake.
He should have learned from so many things, but
Fool
again,
me
backs
once,
the
shame
rock.
on you. Fool me twice,
Close.
shame on you. Fool me can't get fooled again.
Yeah.
Are we finally done? Fuck, it's like midnight.
I'm gonna give this 4.5 bourbons. It's better. It's a better episode than I remember, but that's because I actually sat and watched the entire thing instead of just like fast forwarding through it to get to the next episode. But it was pretty good, and so I do that. And props to the great direction by Paulsen, David Paulsen. Is that who?
That sounds right.
Oh no, it's Leonard.
Bradford.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Bradford something?
Bradford
Hold
May
on.
was the director of photography.
Bradford May.
Bradford May was the director of photography, and the director. Maybe I think it was actually was directed by Leonard Katzman. So just a props
Uncle
because
Lenny.
I think they both did a really good job this episode.
I agree. The cinematography of it is great. I think there's a lot of falling action here. We're kind of wrapping up a few things from before, like with Holly and with Mickey and
The contest.
And, it's kind of like exposition for what's to come. Yeah, but there's a lot of exposition for what's to come. It does have that small climax there at the end. No jokes, Josh. I will say 4.2 and a bottle of cheap champagne that you don't mind being thrown in the bushes.
I enjoyed this. I mean, we did get to see Lois Child one more time. Like I said, the wrapping up and the propulsion forward for other storylines that are going to develop. Pam moving into that new office and all. So I'm going to go with a 4.6 and a catatonic Aunt Lil.
I'm going to give the episode 4.5 as well. And I'm going to give Aunt Lil some smelling salts because she needs to come around. Somebody's going to do something.
Anina, do you have a rating?
I enjoyed the hell out of it all, but I'll be reserved and give it a 4.6. And there was a notable appearance of the Texas wind that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Because I always notice the
Texas wind.
Yeah.
Texas wind in outdoor scenes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Very flat out there.
Very flat. Very sunny.
Yeah.
All right. So next time we will be talking about season 7, episode 138, Ray's Trial.
Dun, dun, dun.
With the appearance of a really good character.
Stephen Williams as the bailiff.
Yeah. So excited,
who it
you
is,
guys.
the
We're
bailiff.
here. We're here.
For the bailiff.
The whole reason Mary started this was
The bailiff.
The bailiff.
The
next
bailiff.
episode.
Yeah.
The bailiff.
No, I've been literally doing this shit for 5.5 years to get to these goddamn episodes. So
The bailiff
it's
episode.
motherfucking time. It's go time.
Mary's time.
And look for more of our coverage of the Southfork experience on our YouTube channel.
Yes, on our YouTube channel.
Including Jock
And I
Henderson's
should-
concert, cocktail hour, and the 2 panels that we have left.
The auction, even. I enjoyed listening to the auction.
The concert was really fun. I had a lot of fun
Yep,
at Josh
yep.
Henderson's concert.
That will be up this week.
Everybody was there. There were so
Yeah,
many people
like-
at that concert, as far as
Sure.
the cast
Jack
members.
Scalia.
Like, a lot
Sheree
of them
Wilson
hung
was
out.
dancing right next to me.
Jack Scalia was sitting
pretty
at
cool.
our table.
Mhm.
Josh Henderson performing? That's a really good job. Just saying.
His mom was almost in tears.
His girlfriend was in tears.
She's so sweet.
Aw.
And
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. And as always, check out our website, ewingbbq.com. It has links to our drinking game. It has links to bios about us.
The merch.
It has
Merchandise links.
Our merch on there you can check out, which we have new stuff. Like if you haven't looked at it in a while, you can go to TeePublic, which will still have the original things I had on there, but going forward, it's going to be that plus everything else that we have, because I found a new vendor where I can make stuff. So we have some stickers, we have t-shirts, we have hats. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank y'all.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Take care of yourselves.
And each other.
All right, Jerry. Jerry? Bring her.
The Ewing Barbecue Podcast is a Stitches creative production. Produced, edited, and graphic designed by Mary Louise Hutter. That's me. Social media by Josh Eilberg and Brad Mulholland. Our Southfork expert and behind-the-scenes helper is Jana Tim. Please check out our website, ewingbbq.com, for all things Dallas and Ewing Barbecue related. Copyright 2024. Sit, Bella Lugosi, sit. Good dog.